Good morning, everyone. Namaste. I'm going to call in Archangel Michael to clear, cleanse the space, fall negative and lower vibrations from our mind, body, and soul, home and hearts, placing the white light of protection on us with his blue seal. And we are going to be reading more on my dark night of the soul with St. John on the cross. And we're on the book, The First, which treats the night of sense, stanza the first. It says, on dark night, kindled in love with yearning, oh happy chance, I went forward without being observed, my house being now at rest. And it says the exposition. In this first stanza, the soul relates the way and many which it following going forth as its affection from itself and from all other things and dying to them and itself by means of true mortification in order to attain the lives of sweet and delectable life of love in God. And it says that going forth from itself from all things that a dark night, by which we explain thereafter, is therefore understood as a purgative contemplation which causes passively in the soul the negation of itself in all things referred to above. Just think of it as purging all negative things. So again, I'm a Reiki master, and you store your trauma from every lifetime. I believe in reincarnation in multiple lifetimes, and I believe it is stored in your chakras, especially your root chakra, which is at the base of your spine. Your trauma and your sense of lack is all stored there. So it is a process to release that. I've been giving myself Reiki since 2021, and I gave myself Reiki every single day for a whole year. I got Reiki from someone else before I discovered that I had a gift. So I did like 6-7 sessions with somebody else. Then I got attuned, and I got Reiki with them. So about 8 sessions. And then I gave myself Reiki after I got attuned for a whole year before I started working on anybody else every single day, which I highly, highly recommend. And now I give myself Reiki probably about once to 3 times a month, if not more, as needed, especially if I have aches and pains. I'm always giving myself Reiki, little bits of it. But that trauma is stored in your chakras. So think about dark night of the soul is purging all that darkness and all that negativity. And things are going to come up that you have shoved up in your subconscious. They are now going to be being brought to light for you to actually think about, forgive and then send love to. So I wanted to clarify that with you, what a dark night of the soul, because it sounds horrific, but in reality, it's making your body more light. And 333 on the timer, as I just said that. It says part 2. And this going forth, it says that we are able to accomplish and strength and ardor, which love for its spouse gave it for that purpose of the dark contemplation, as forementioned. Herein it extols the great happiness which is found in the journeying to God. Through this night, with such signal success that none of the 3 enemies, which are the world, the devil, and flesh, who they that impede this road, so, what interferes with your enlightenment, could hinder as in much of this as forementioned night of purgative contemplation, lulled to sleep and mortified in the house of sensuality, all the passions and desires with respect and mischievous desire and motions. The line then says, and that's the end of it. So this book is a little difficult to read, and I contemplate not reading it, but I think it's so important to talk about the dark night of the soul, because so many people are going through it and they don't even recognize what they're actually going through. They just think that all of a sudden, bad things are happening to him. But it says essentially, think of it like this: you're becoming God within. So you're shedding all those years of negativity so that God's light can then implode within you, as what happened with Jesus. Jesus, he went into the desert for 40 days, 40 nights. And if you talk about a dark night of the soul, that's a dark night of the soul right there. But he did that purposely because he knew he was going to have zero distractions. He knew he was going to be faced with major challenges where he had to lean on his faith. And he really could be one with God. And he was tempted by the devil, left and right, but he really stayed strong within his faith and his belief. And that is what you have to do throughout the dark night of the soul. If you haven't watched Jesus 40 Days and 40 Nights, you can find it on streaming somewhere. I would highly recommend to watch stuff like that, because that is essentially what you're going through. Jesus showed us exactly how to get where we need to get, and he went through all the same things that we're going through here on earth as the dark night of the soul, as purging the negative and becoming the light. So I hope this helps. I love you all. Have a blessed day, and namaste.